This is Gun Crazy, developed by Ritual Games and published by Ratalaika Games. It's a 2D action platformer that harkens back to the good old days of the 16-bit era, and I think it's safe to say that Ritual Games really likes Gunstar Heroes, and Metal Slug, and Contra 3, and Super Buster Bros. The objective of the game is to move right and kill things, and really, what more do you need from a video game? Ritual Games sure does make it feel good to kill things, since every time something dies it explodes into a shower of gems, which is mostly cool. Mostly. In the second level it's kind of a bummer, as it makes it almost impossible to tell what's happening, but otherwise pretty rad. Your character, she isn't given a name in game, so let's call her Phyllis, can shoot, punch, double jump, and dash. Phyllis's standard blast is pretty useful, and she uses her power glove to punch anything that gets too close. Although using the punch is something you'll want to avoid. It kills everything with one hit, but it locks you in place for a couple of seconds, making you a sitting duck for every other enemy's ranged attacks. There are also a few power-ups you can collect. You have a high damage laser, and I mean high damage. That thing can cut through most enemies in a second or two. A machine gun, but more Metal Slug machine gun than Contra machine gun. And you can't have a 2D action platform without a spread shot. It shoots, it spreads, it's a spread shot. Like Metal Slug, your power-ups aren't permanent but are tied to an ammo counter. Unlike Metal Slug, you can dash through most enemy bullets to refill your ammo. This introduces a really satisfying risk-reward system, as the dash is fast, and it can be difficult to dash through an enemy's fire without dashing directly into another enemy or a different projectile. The controls feel good. Phyllis has a satisfying double jump and is light on her feet, making it easy to dodge enemy fire. She starts every life with 5 hit points, and the arcade mode gives you 2 continues, making the difficulty high but manageable. I'd say the average gamer could get through Gun Crazy in an afternoon, since despite the game being difficult, there are only 4 levels. And when you beat the arcade mode, you unlock 1cc mode for anyone interested in a more severe challenge. I really like what Gun Crazy is doing, but I do have one problem. If you guys have watched my last few reviews, you know that I'm very particular about my hitboxes in my 2D games, and Gun Crazies are a little off. There were a few times I got hit by a bullet that I swore should have gone over my head. The most egregious example is my blaster hitting the hood of my car while I'm standing on it. You can see how the hitbox doesn't match up with the sprite. It doesn't ruin the game, it's just something I noticed. That's my only real complaint with Gun Crazy. The graphics are great, and I really like the color palette that Ritual Games used. Phyllis' sprite is expressive and easy to keep track of in all the chaos, and the few voice samples included in the game go a long way to giving her personality. All 4 levels are distinct, have great backgrounds, and do a good job of world building considering the length of the game. They give you just enough to let your imagination fill in the gaps. The music is great, it fits the gameplay, and while I don't think you'll download the soundtrack, it is catchy and memorable. Short, sweet, and challenging in all the right ways. If you like what you see here, then you'll enjoy Gun Crazy. It's a great retro platformer. Do yourself a favor. Pick it up today.